Welcome back to yet another video on the Squire Editions channel. Now today we're going to discuss a topic, a hot topic that we get asked frequently. If I were to buy a Defender, what should I look out for? Now I'm going to go through some of the top 5 points that I would suggest if I was buying a Land Rover Defender. Now, I'd like to add, this is very subjective and we're talking about looking at a vehicle outside of the realms of a workshop. So we are at somebody's address looking at a Defender in a view to purchase this. So picturing the scene, you have found the Defender that you want to buy. Before we even entertain the 5 points, HPI check is going to be vital. That will do many different things: finance, vehicle written off, license plates being swapped over, and also chassis numbers and registration plates matching up. That is absolutely vital before you go and even look at buying the car. This vehicle that we've got in front of us, a superb vehicle, 2,900 miles from new, time warp car and in pristine condition. So if this was the vehicle that we were buying, first thing I'd be looking for is rust. Now, as we all know, Land Rover Defenders can rust for fun. They are a mixture of steel and aluminium. They're on a ladder frame chassis. There are a few points that I would go to straight away. First of which being bulkhead. So the bulkhead and windscreen surround and footwells. Those are the 3 main points that you would address when you're having a look at a Defender. And if you have a look at this one here, despite 2,900 miles, there is a very, very small amount of corrosion around the windscreen. And we are pricing this one actually, so this is coming in for that. I personally am not adverse to seeing a bit of rust actually, because I like to have the true story of the car, not something that's been fabricated or someone that's just covered something up with the Defenders. So as much as I say look for it, what you want to be looking for is vast areas of rust that will need huge attention and come at a price. If it does have minor rust, it's not a bad thing. It just shows the authenticity of the car, again, in my opinion. So we've got the ladder frame chassis that goes from the cross member right to the front here, where the bumper attaches. Have a good look through all that, and also some of the outriggers, they can be problematic. Now, if it has had some repairs done, that might not be a bad thing, but you just need to make sure that the repairs have been done to the correct standard. That's all I would say. There's some quality parts out there and some quality people, just need to be done right. Depending on the severity of the rust, this hasn't got it coincidentally. If a cross member on the back here, it'll be cut in around this section here or at the front, and depending on how much the rust has got into the chassis, but that's where it is cut. Sometimes you see it where they are frightened to go too far forward up to the spring hangers and it gets a bit nasty. Point number 2, modifications and enhancements. Now, where do you think I'm going with this? If you're coming to have a look at Defender that's got 35-inch wheels with a 4-inch lift kit and you want to drive it to the West Country in the peace and quiet with your wife and children, you're buying the wrong car. You need to be looking at the vehicle that's going to represent your lifestyle. This is a prime example, bone stock, ready to accept whatever enhancements you want to support that lifestyle. Also, when I mean by modifications, if it has had an engine swap per se, you want to make sure it functions as it should. So, does it go forward, does it go back, and does it change gear as it should? If not, you need to be concerned, because at that point they may be selling it as a covering something up. Third point to be addressed is the transmission. We know that the vehicle is going to start. We've been there, we've gone through that. Transmission is a huge topic on one of these vehicles. Stu, would you mind jumping in it just so you can demonstrate transmission? As we've said many times in this video, it is such a beautiful example, this Defender. Really is, time warp car. When you pull away, it does not need any slack coming through the clutch, shuddering through the vehicle. Did you hear that? I didn't think so. What they do suffer with, there's 3 main components that they do suffer: half shafts, props and diffs. Now obviously if it's going to be a bit more severe, you can run through into transfer box and even the gearbox. But generally when you're pulling off with a Defender, you can have a bit of slack pull up, and I would go straight to the half shafts and then follow that sequence through to identify the problem. Hot topic number 4, oil leaks. Now, Land Rover Defenders have a common problem with a scent mark, as we like to call it, like a male dog cocking its leg. However, we're going to buy a car now, so we're going to look from the back to the front. If it's leaking on the back, generally speaking, something to do rear axle or diff. Going to the middle, transfer box, gearbox. Going to the front, engine or front axle stroke diff. Going to be generally one of those items that's going to be weeping oil. Hopefully none of the above, but always remember a weep is better than a leak. That being said, if you're ever worried, always seek professional advice. The last point I'd like to discuss here is underbody coatings. Now, it is a pet hate of mine when I go and have a look at a vehicle and it's covered in soot. Soot as a property remains wet. And when you have a look at it, it quite often traps moisture. And in my belief, more often than not, people are applying it to hide something. So if it's covered in soot, and you'll know it's soot because you'll touch it and you'll get black on your fingers, then I would walk away from it straight away because I don't know what's underneath there. I like to see the true condition of the chassis. If it is that far gone, it can be a costly exercise to replace them. I think that's a fair summary on a 5-step guide on what I would look at if I was purchasing a car, whether I'm buying it for myself or buying it for an individual. That's the points that I would go to. Obviously there's many different eventualities when you're looking at vehicles, but those are the areas that I would address in the first instance, as well as everything else. If you want any further advice on purchasing cars, you know where we are, Squire Editions, Chichester, West Sussex. Give us a call, drop us an email. We'll be glad to help in some way we can. We do minor repairs, we do servicing, and we do full rebuilds. We will tailor a vehicle to your specific lifestyle. As we're beginning to do with the videos now, we want to get your feedback. Is there any other topics you would like us to cover on a Defender? Please give us a shout out and we will have a look at that video. Also, if there's any other points that I've raised that you would add into it, let us know. Drop in the comment section below. As I always say, thank you so much for watching the videos. It really does mean a lot. Today, Wednesday, the 4th of December, we are having our Squire Editions Christmas drive out, and I'm sure you can see some festivities in the background. So thanks very much. Give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you on the next video.